apparently comes from like this article that was written, I don't know exactly, late 90s, early 2000s, maybe.
Also, I'll just say this, that I asked you before the show, I was like, is there anything you want to specifically talk about? You're like, I've been kind of into himboism. I was like, what is that? Let's break it down.
So it's, for me, like there's two avenues, and I'll talk more about it, but like, so anyway, so it came from this article, and this basically like this woman, I think it was maybe a Vogue article or something like that, but she was like, or New York, I don't remember, but she's like, she said something about this, like she's like, the age of like the blonde bombshell, blah blah blah, like the bimbo is gone, now we're in the dawn of the himbo or something like that, basically like a flip on like bimbo. But then I think bimbo kind of became like almost derogatory. I think himbo is seen as like desirable in a lot of ways, I guess.
Like daddy.
Not, I don't know about daddy. Like I think there's still like,
what's a himbo? Can you look it up?
There's generally like a vapidness to it. So it is like, I would say like descriptors, emotionally intelligent. I think that is a very important part of himboism.
The one guy from the Lizzie McGuire, my girlfriend loves him. I forgot his name.
Gordo.
It's not Gordo. He's not the himbo. It's the blonde tall guy. Because my girlfriend watched back and she was like, he's the smartest person in the movie, and he's so emotionally intelligent because he's so nice to everybody.
But he's kind of, he's kind of a dork. But he's not a dork. He's just
like goofy and like kind of like, you would think he would be like
not
a
super
dick,
smart. Oh yeah,
and you would think he wouldn't be smart either. But the way he talks makes him seem dumb. But what he says is so smart. You're like, what?
Yeah. So it's like I don't want to say antithesis to jock because it's not, but it kind of, it's like the build is like, it's hyper masculinity, right? That's kind of part of like himbo a lot of times too, is it's like you present very masculine, you're big, you're like just a huge person typically too. A lot of himbos are like very large. I would say Goku, like what I'm kind of realizing is like a lot of like the characters I resonated with were like kind of himbos when I was growing up, and Goku being like, I don't know if there's any anime heads of you all watch Dragon Ball Z or anything, but anyways, like Goku was like number one, like one of my favorite characters of all time, and I would say Goku is a big himbo, a huge himbo, honestly. Like
we need a himbo tier list.
Yeah, right, for real, dude. Like Kronk is another one.
Yeah,
Chris Hemsworth plays a lot of he's a solid himbo. Thor, Loki is kind of a himbo.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, again, like emotionally intelligent, like typically like I don't want to say like dumb, like there is like an idea that like there's a lack of like just like book smarts or something there, but it's more of like being like blissfully unaware, like so just like unbothered by these issues and just focusing on the betterment of yourself and your community. I think it's kind of like part of like himbo.
That's so big.
Like it's just like you're just looking out for those around you, and you're very well intentioned, and oftentimes there's like an idea of like they're beautiful a lot of times, so it's kind of supposed to be part of it too. So like all those things I've been really into, because I just like, again, I work with kids, and so I work with like young boys and things like that, so you know, like it's interesting to see teaching in the age of the manosphere has been a trip, dog. Like I've had kids be like, what do you think about Andrew Tate, man? And I'm like, I think he's whack, don't listen to that dude. like and like, again, presenting how I present, which is again very masculine, but I was raised by women, like so I've always
so you're a himbo.
I'm
sorry if that's derogatory.
No, you're good. I want to lean into being a himbo. I want to liberate myself. Like I think part of like why I'm so, because I made the Socialist Dance Party thing, and as you heard, I got super deep into all that shit, and like I wanted to go down, I guess, like this kind of like historical and like intellectual rabbit hole and theories and all these things. And so now it's like the flip side of that. It's like I just want to like still kind of explore something, but through like a very like fun and lighthearted lens. And I feel like, so like initially, like the name that I came up with, which I'm going to continue working on, I haven't like really made any music officially for this project, but it's Himbo Slice, which is like play on Kimbo Slice. Like I'm trying to think of like, there's a resonant himbo character. I think there is someone that everyone can resonate with, but I was like, mine is like Goku, right? Like Goku is willing to like, he arguably like says some of the dumbest things in that show of all time. He's low-key kind of the one thing I will say is like, oh look, he's kind of a deadbeat dad. but outside of that,
dies like
he dies a lot. That's true, but like he does it because he's sacrificing himself for the greater good of like humanity, or like for the people, right? For the people that he loves, right? And so he's always trying, and even that, he's like, other than like he's either talking to the villain that's like, I'm gonna blow up this planet, and he's like, I just want a good fight, you know. Like, he's like, I really wish you would like see things my way and not blow up the planet, but if you're gonna blow up the planet, I'm gonna have to whoop your ass. Like, that's kind of like, you know, like he ultimately always wants to lead with love, right? Like he means the best, and he wants people to see things his way. Like, and I don't want to say like he's like forcing anyone in any particular way, but he's like, listen, if we were more compassionate in this moment, if we were empathetical, and like specifically, I think going with Himboism, it's like, yeah, like empathetic masculinity, right? It's like if you are leading with that kind of thing, then it's like you hope that other people are willing to change their behavior, I guess, or at least like be like, oh, maybe I should also not want to blow, in Goku's case, not blow up the planet, and like, you know, try to help out these people, which has worked. Like Boo, low key, like, again, I'm getting too deep into
Boo's a good guy.
He's a bad guy that becomes a good guy in Dragon Ball, and the kind of, because like eventually they kind of just like show him love. They like forget. And Android 18, right? Like she switches because like she falls in love with she gets in love with Krillin, and so like I don't know. There's like, so I think there is this Goku and Gohan, honestly, although Gohan's supposed to be really like book smart and stuff, but like there's a lineage there of like, again, empathetic masculinity, and I think that's all resonant of like of Himboism. Yeah. And then there's other Himbo characters that there's like lines, there's lots of debates. I feel like if you go on the internet, if you're like tapped into this space, there's definitely lots of space. But I've been someone, I was like, I've said this numerous times to my friends, and especially like anyways, but yeah, I was like, I walk into barbershops and I sometimes feel uncomfortable being in a barbershop, and it's because it's such a masculine space, and I know I should not feel uncomfortable being in those spaces based on how I present and things like that, but there is a genuine, and like, it's crazy because I'm sure like a lot of femme people like feel this all the time, but it's like there's just like a presence sometimes with masculinity that I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong, but it's just, I think there's like so many expectations and things around like the idea of masculinity and things like that, and a lot of people performing like a mask of what masculinity should be or what they've been taught it is. And I think we need to shatter that shit. And I think like the more people that like look hella masculine, you know, like again, like big and brawny and all that type of shit, that are just like, nah, like I want to care for this person because it's a nice thing to do, or just like help this person out because it's a nice thing to do. I think that's gonna obviously, like you said, like lead to a better world. You're looking out for other people.